Good morning everyone, just wanted to give you an update on the van. Sorry it's been a couple of weeks now, I didn't mean for it to be so long, but just been trying to smash out all the all the insulation and get the van ready so I can just do all the carpentry and get everything fitted out really nicely. I've since installed a roof rack, portholes are in, all the wiring and plumbing's done, shower trays in with all the plumbing for that as well, so it's basically just going to be building all the kitchen, all the walls, and doing all the pretty interesting stuff really, where it looks like a lot's happening. The part I've been doing now takes probably the longest and is probably the most fiddly out of the whole thing. But if you don't get it right, you're going to have leaks. The van's not going to be warm, and it just makes everything a bit kind of sloppy really. So I want to make sure it's perfect before I start doing all the fit out really. But yeah, the van's looking really cool. I'm mega happy with it. Yeah, it's taken time and a lot of effort, but I've been doing 10-12 hour days since the last video, so I'm really pleased with how it's coming along. I'll give you a quick look round and see what you think. So yeah, the van's looking pretty cool now. It's got the big Rhino roof rack on top, which was quite a battle to get on. Managed to fit most of it on my own. Had to get a couple of people to help me lift up the last couple of sections. Obviously don't want to get any scratches on the van when you're doing this, so I would recommend having someone help you if you're fitting a roof rack. Next thing is the portholes are all in. So I say two. That's for each one of the kids, so they're going to have a porthole window each, which is going to be really cool. The view out there will be really nice and quite good because no one can see in from this sort of level. It's just impossible to get out there unless you've got some kind of footstool or a ladder, so I don't think they're going to have any privacy issues with them. And yeah, the van is now nearly all ply lined, all the insulation's in, so you can see the foil down there, bubble wrap foil. That is covering all of the rock wool behind these walls, and on the Celotex on the ceiling as well has all the joins and everything have been taped up, so essentially it's going to be an insulated box now. The shower tray's in, so you've got a proper shower trap going out the bottom of the van. For reference, it's 120mm hole saw you need to do that, to get a really nice sort of precise cut rather than some enormous gaping hole. I'm going to run sealant around the actual trap and the floor of the van so you don't get any kind of dirt or anything getting in, or any creepy crawlies deciding to move into the bottom of the van. All the plumbing's in, so you've got pipes there running under the floor to the other side of the van, and then also the feed will be from here because the water tank's going to live here basically, so there'll be the pump and the tank there. Water will feed underneath all the way round up to the boiler, which is going to be in a cupboard here, which is why that window has been cut slightly shorter than the actual window, because there will be a wall along this edge here. There'll be a wall coming out this way, and the boiler will be sitting on there going through the ceiling, with the fluid will be going through the ceiling. So the pipes will be running into there. One of the pipes will be running into there, and there'll be a hot feed coming out of the boiler into the shower, which will split off before it goes into the shower back under the floor, which is why there's that second pipe there running over to this side. So you'll have hot directly from the boiler, and then obviously cold water will come straight from the tank under the floor to this side to the tap. So you'll have hot and cold water with minimal amount of piping. I mean, the shower will have probably about a foot of pipe running into it, so they'll get hot water nearly immediately. All the windows are going to be framed, so you'll probably not see any of that plastic frame. As much as they don't look bad, I just think it kind of takes away from the style that I do things. I like to have it, looking like a house. That is the van house style, really. Having a frame around everything, so you just wouldn't know you were in a van. Same with this window and the one on the sliding doors. Sorry for the lighting in here. Yeah, there'll be a frame around that as well, and tongue and groove over all of the ply. I've also cut out the cab lining up the top there, because I'm going to be building a wooden sort of ceiling to the cab, so they've got storage up here. The transit vans like mine have already got a sort of metal floor there, so the roof of the cab is much lower, and you've already got space to kind of build storage really. But I'm going to try and make it so that the sort of above their heads when they're driving, they've got a really nice stained wood tongue and groove ceiling, so that will just add to the overall feel of the van, especially when they've got the seats turned round. It will all feel very fluid. Roof fan is obviously in and I've allowed space for that. I'm going to be creating a sort of wooden frame for that. The ceiling piece that's just resting up there at the moment will be going on, obviously, so you've got a sort of clear sort of tunnel from the van basically, and then there'll be a wooden frame over the lip of that, so it won't be, you won't see any plastic apart from, you know, within the sort of fan space. All the wires are poking through where needed, all running down into sort of one spot basically, so that I've got, you know, I've got the ability to just have all of the wires and fuse boxes in that one cupboard, so that they need to, you know, should a fuse blow, which I doubt it will because I've never had that issue, they will be able to just get to it really easily. Same for this side, there'll be a fuse box this side running under the floor, as you can see there. We'll allow one wire for the USB socket for the kids, for this bed, sorry, just so it's directly running to the battery on this side rather than into a fuse box, just in case they're running anything a bit more powerful through that socket. And then the fuse box has got a higher ampage wire running under the floor. There will only be lights running through those, which are very sort of low power consumption, and they don't need, you know, massive, you know, they don't drain a lot of power. What else? Yeah, we've got the swivel seats on as well, so they've got the double swivel seat for the passenger and for the driver. You have to swivel them all around at the same time to get the drivers round, so the passenger's one will swivel around on its own, but obviously you're going to, you know, use them all at the same time anyway, so probably about a 5-minute job to undo all of the little hand levers you've got. There's these twisty chaps here. There's 8 of those on that one and 4 on that one. So it's, yeah, it's about a 5-minute job to do it. It's nothing major, but you know, if you're parking up for a couple of days, then it's, you know, the kind of thing you do as you arrive and then just before you leave. But it wasn't something I wanted in my van purely because I've got a sealed bulkhead and I knew I was going to seal it off, because just for timing really, if I needed to move off quickly, then, you know, you don't have to be messing around with the seats. But this will be perfect for these guys, as there'll be another bench seat there, and a fold-up table or removable table. I'm yet to decide. I think a removable table would look prettier because I have an old barn door that I want to wax and varnish for them. I think will look really good, and there'll be a sort of centerpiece. What else? So yeah, there's obviously Celotex under the floors. All the battening I used was 34 by 34 millimeter batten. And then also on the walls, I believe I've used 5mm ply, the same as the original panelling, which I've reused here, just purely because they were in good condition and they're the right shape, so that made things a bit easier, especially for cutting out windows and things. Not the easiest job in the world, cutting out the spaces for the windows. It's just a lot of measuring and marking and checking your measurements 10 times before you start cutting, as a lot of people know. Do not cut before you've measured it a few times, because you could quite easily ruin a piece of ply that would have made your life a lot easier, given it's already the right shape. Also remember to use expanding foam in any of the areas you've not been able to get insulation in, because you want to make sure there's no cold spots, and everything is sealed up, so you know it keeps the heat in and keeps the heat out depending on the time of year you're using the van. Yeah, so overall it's looking really good. I'm really pleased with it. Just need to get the last bit of ply lining in, and then I will be starting to build walls and the shower cubicle, and then getting the boiler sort of test fitted so I can then cut the hole for the flue. I had to make some modifications to the roof rack to allow for the roof fans. These Rhino roof racks don't allow for a roof fan, so you know I had to cut 2 of the supports and then reinforce them the opposite direction. You know, a bit time consuming, and obviously you've got to repaint the cuts to make it look right, but and obviously avoid rust. But yeah, it's you know, it's absolutely solid. 2 solar panels will be going up there, a roof box, the spare wheel. They also like to have space for a kayak up there potentially, and you know, if the kayak's not up there, I'm hoping to be able to build some kind of roof deck like on my van. And there's also going to be a rear ladder going on the back door, which I'm probably going to tackle in the next couple of days. And we've also fitted a rear view camera up there, as they've bought a Android head unit, so it's running I think Android 9. So it'll be basically like having a tablet in the dash. It fits in the factory slot. which is really cool. Mine's got something similar, not specific for a transit, but it's you know, it means you can download apps like Waze and Google Maps and YouTube and things like that, and just use it like you would your phone, and hotspot from your phone, which is what I do. But you can get a sort of SIM card attachment for it, I believe, so you can just get a data SIM card for it and just have 4G at all times running from the dash, which is quite cool. Makes it feel a lot more up to date, given you pay a fortune for all of this new car tech, which is usually out of date by the time that they've released the car anyway, and is slower than these aftermarket head units you can get. I'm not sure of the brand exactly. I think it was ordered from Audio Tech Direct. If you want to have a look them up, they're on eBay. It's about £300, well worth it. Like I said, it totally modernises the front of the van, and also gives you the ability to have a rear view camera. I'll quickly show you the workshop as well. Workshop's in slight chaos at the moment, but yeah, there's the car. That won't be getting touched for a long time now. Probably got to spend about 5-6 grand on that to get it where I want to go. But like I said, if you're into cars, it's a 2JZ 3 litre, similar to the Supra engine. I'm going to be doing a full turbo conversion on that and filming it as well. That's meant to be a track car when it's done, given all the aero and things like that I've got sitting on the front of it. But yeah, it will be really cool when it's done. And my neighbour is a painter, so he's going to paint that for me. But yeah, the workshop's slowly emptying, and bits and bobs are going into the van rather than being stacked up in here. My other half's room / our kitchen is all finished. So this was a very cold, boring corner of my workshop, which we've turned into a pretty cool barber's room / kitchen. Now, given I've not got a washing machine in my van, which is also one of the things you probably would struggle to put in a van, I've got a washing machine in here and done all the plumbing, so we've got drainage and water feed and everything, which is really cool. Very, very pleased with how this has turned out. Similar style to how everything is in my van. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Tongue and grooved all the ceiling. Originally it looked the same as this part of the workshop. So that was what we started with, and that's what we've ended up with. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm very proud of it. It's you know, it's really nice to be able to go in there and make a coffee in somewhere that's not a cold workshop. Not that it's cold at the moment, but yeah, come winter it'll be nice to be able to retreat in there, turn the heater on and keep it warm in there, and be able to make a coffee or, you know, grab a beer at the end of the day. Quickly show you Bear. I'm sure a lot of you want to see him. He's sitting there in his bed that he barely fits in, fed up, wants to be out causing chaos, but I just can't have him out at the moment because there's too many wires and things running around, so I'll take him out for a walk in a bit. Yeah, all coming along nicely. The next plan is to build a mezzanine in here, so my sofa and a few other bits and bobs that I've got are going to go up there, so it'll give me a bit more space in the workshop, and tidy everything up. I'm very OCD about keeping the workshop tidy and making it look, you know, look the part. I want it to be a showroom really, so plan is to probably tongue and groove one of the walls as well, and stain it in the main part of the workshop so it all feels, you know, really appropriate for the style of the vans that I do. I'm due to start the next build at the beginning of September, so this one's going in for its gas tank install at the end of August, and then the customer will be collecting it at the end of the month. You know, give or take a couple of days, just depending on how things go with painting and all the varnishing and staining and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, but yeah, overall really pleased with how it's going. Been lucky with the weather. Everything's been, you know, it's been nice and dry apart from the odd sort of day. And yeah, just keep watching really. I'm going to upload more videos now. Managed to get something to attach the GoPro to as well, so hopefully this is a slightly better angle than the last couple of videos. And yeah, expect more updates with the you know, the kitchen build and the shower cubicle and all that sort of stuff. Also we'll be fitting the bench seats in there as well, so it will start looking like a real, you know, you'll start to see the actual space very soon. So yeah, keep watching. Please like, subscribe and share my videos. Check out my Instagram. I've been uploading quite a lot onto there, more often than I have been on YouTube. So yeah, please keep watching really, and sorry for the wait. I know it's been a couple of weeks, but yeah, expect more regular updates soon. And yeah, thanks for watching. Take care. See you soon.